What is up, Retro Maniacs? My name is Mike. His name's EP. His name's Joe. And we're not here to give you one. We're not here to give you two. We're here to give you 3 cards you need for your retro PC. I don't actually have my card this week. I'm sorry, but I wish I did have it. But I bought a collection of cards and I was going through it and I found a Tony Gwynn first day issue. And, you know, I could have dug that out, but it was in my sale and I didn't want to. But that got me thinking, I really wish I had a 1993 Nolan Ryan Stadium Club first day issue card. These cards are not worth anywhere near what they should be worth. These, you got 1 per box. 1. It was a parallel that came 1 per box, not 100 per box like now. 1 per box. And yes, I know they made tons and tons of this set, but still there was only 1 per box. He's card number 353. The last 2, there were 2 that have sold in the last month on eBay. 1 sold for 25, 1 sold for 30. You don't see these. There are a couple listed on eBay. I believe 1 is $179 raw, which is cheaper, I think, than one of, there were 2 graded. I think it was the raw one was more expensive than one of the graded ones. But the graded ones, a PSA 9 sells usually 70 to 80, and a PSA 10, the last one sold for 160. But again, there are some truly rare cards in some of this stuff that they heavily overprinted in the early 90s. To think about the prices of what the Donruss Elite cards are, that there are 10,000 of them out there. I'm pretty sure the print run on the first day issue are well under 1,000. It just doesn't make sense to me. These are way undervalued for what they are. It's a card I would love to have. The Nolan Ryans and the first couple Stadium Club sets are just fantastic. They were a thrill to pull back in the day. That's my card, even if I don't own it.
Amazing card. Obviously, can talk forever about Nolan Ryan, but the Stadium Club, like 93 Stadium Club, I love that set. That's probably my favorite of the early Stadium Clubs. And on top of that, like first day, like you said, like you think about the number of cards in that set, and there is like 1 per box. Like your chances of getting a Nolan Ryan, like you could probably open how many cases and not even sniff a Nolan Ryan. Like that's insane to think about. And so you like the print run, like you said, it has to be like so like 100, 1,000. Like I mean, what do you think it would be? Like it's got to be super low, right?
Yeah, I think I've seen estimates on it, and I can't remember what I saw, but I know it's less than 1,000 of them. There has to be less than 1,000 of them.
Yeah. The problem is that a lot of these cards from that era don't get as much love because people, it's not a precious metal gem. It's not something like that. Like, I think it's kind of held back by that. But I agree with 93 Stadium Club EP. That is one of my favorite sets. With the logo was like the best logo. I collected football, Stadium Club football back then, and that was my favorite logo. The back of the card was always a lot of fun. They usually have like the rookie card on the back of the card, the first Topps card, I should say. I don't think they were just showing random rookie cards, but the first Topps card, really nice. I actually looked up this card because I didn't know as you guys were talking. And man, you could have pulled this card and not known you pulled it too. Like it's like the 24 karat gold action pack, Mike. Like for a hot minute, you'd be like, "Wait, did I get this? What is this?" But yeah, really, really cool card, and one of those sets that should be more valuable than it is, but it's not. It's not the precious metal gem. It's not the Star Ruby. So a lot of people might be out of their minds.
And there are still dealers today that will miss that and put them in their value boxes because they don't know what they are. I do have to say this. I was selling the Tony Gwynn in my sale, and some random person retweeted the card saying, imagine this card now with 70% less 90s design. And I was like, why would you want that?
I want 70% more 90s. Yeah. What are we talking about?
Wait, and isn't that card like full bleed except for the little bit of Stadium Club?
Yeah, there's he really, I don't know how he got.
Who needs photography? Who needs photography on cards?
He wants more Photoshop on that card. Is what?
Needs more
foiling, cut out the
foiling, some lightning in the background.
Yeah.
All right, EP, what do you have for us this week?
First off, Frank Thomas is the subject of my card. And he is definitely considered a slugger. And I go, this is a card that has the word slugger right on it. This is from the 1993 starting lineup sluggers subset. And you can see I have it in the in this special custom holder. This card is like a $2 card, $3 card. If you get it in the special holder, it's like $15 to $40, depending on the quality of the holder. It's pretty cool. I won the starting lineup figure at a card show a couple weeks ago, and I just think it's like cool that they had this a subset built into it. It's again not a super expensive card. I like that I have it here in this in the package. It's pretty cool. That's my card this week.
They really do have a holder for everything nowadays, don't they?
You can get a holder for that holder, EP. I just want you to know that you actually can.
Can I then get it graded in that holder? Is it?
Yes, absolutely. They grade those holders. I will tell you that.
I love those cards though. Anytime I'm going through cards, if I find the starting lineup cards, I always pick them out because they're very popular in my sales and they're just a lot of fun. There were a lot of starting lineups made, so there are a lot of cards out there, but they feel more rare than they probably are, if that makes any sense. They were rare compared to everything else that were being made card-wise at that point in time. So I guess that still qualifies as rare, but yeah, I enjoy those.
I didn't know there were like subsets, like insert cards or parallels or whatever. I didn't realize that they had extra. I thought they were just like the single card. But yeah.
Hold up that again, EP, real quick.
It's got the regular card and the.
I was going to say, are we getting him in trouble for having the two cards there? I don't know. That seems like a two-card situation.
I didn't pick this. This is just part of the holder. It's part of the holder.
Okay. All right. We'll let it slide.
I think you're the wrong person to call that out.
We call that a hypocrite in the game. So starting lineups were kind of the innovators with this, but it was not just them. Like the Marvel toys had cards in them. Their Star Trek toys had cards in them. Like that set it off. I mean, like having those cards, and then they started putting cards in magazines, and you could find cards anywhere and everywhere in the 90s. It was wild. Pick your holder, choose your own holder adventure, if you will. But yeah, really, really cool card. I was a sucker for starting lineups. I actually surprisingly don't have any. You would think I'd have a couple maybe pick guys or something, but yeah, I don't have any starting lineups just sitting around.
All right, Joe, wrap us up. What do you have?
I also do not have my card, but I will tell you this. This was not the card I was going to pick today. I was looking at another card from the same set, and then I saw this card, this different insert set from this 1999 Donruss Preferred QBC. We've talked about this set before. One of my favorites. This card is the Stairmaster. Do you remember these guys? Stairmaster. And I'm like, you know what? I could go Barry Sanders. I could go Jerry Rice. You know, they're known for their eyes staring down the field. I'm going to go with the confused look of Ryan Leaf. Look at this. I mean, wow. I'm like scrolling through. I'm like, oh, which one should I pick? This is such a stupid, fun set. And then it's like, how do I throw a football look on his face? And it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. These cards, these must have been hard to pull. We opened up a lot of Donruss Leaf. Or Donruss Preferred. I don't remember like half the inserts that I saw on TCDB. I'm like, I had probably a row and a half of a 5,000 count box of Donruss Preferred, and I didn't have any of those. I didn't have any of a couple of the other insert sets that I was thinking about using for today. So Donruss Preferred may come up again in a couple of weeks, but a lot of fun stuff in there that I didn't even know about until I just looked at this. You can get this Stairmaster card for like $2. They're numbered out of 1,000. And even like the Jerry Rice might have been like $10-15, not super expensive, but I think the ridiculousness of Ryan Leaf after his rookie season, this is a second-year card. I mean, it's one of those funny cards we did on the Wednesday show last week. That definitely fits or 2 weeks ago now, I guess. One of those funny cards.
I don't think anybody at the time, there's no way anybody at that time knew how on brand a confused Ryan Leaf was, right? Like at that point, it's like, oh no, you know, he could turn around, he could bounce back.
He has an arm. He has an arm.
Rookie season got an arm. Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm. So, but that's great. Yeah, and QBC, we've talked about that. You know, that set, like that's just an amazing set. We've we gush over that a lot. So
I want to open a box.
Preferred.
They're expensive.
Yeah.
Like the only sealed box I could find is like $450. I'm like, whoa, for
geez.
$19.99 stuff? That's crazy.
Well, don't they have kind of
Don't
an
say it.
equivalent?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I might use one of those cards.
The
They do,
PMGs
yeah,
in it. Yeah. So that's kind of
Yeah,
that's what it is. Because
precious
there
metal.
could be a boat in that box.
There could be a boat in that box. Precious metal, they are called, which is hysterical. But they actually have pieces of precious metal,
Yeah.
like in the card. So it's kind of wild. But yeah, that is the big draw to those. But there's a couple of other insert sets there that are like, I never pulled any of these cards and they look really cool, but I'm not going to pay $450 for that box.
And a little known fact, the precious metal gems were actually precious metal in metal before they became precious metal gems.
Yep. They were like a
They
subset, right?
No, they were parallel, but they weren't numbered out of 100 or anything at the time. So yeah, the year before they started the PMG, they were just precious metal. Because when I went through my stuff from my shop, I found that Anthony Hardaway and just in my commons box because they were very hard to tell.
Yeah, they're
and
tough.
the only reason I knew was because it was different than the cards around it when I was looking through it. I was like, there's something different about that. And then looked it up and there you go. So if you didn't know,
The more you know.
now you know.
Now the more you know. Yeah.
Just put the rainbow right up there. All right, guys, those were 3 great choices because we always give you 3 great choices. That's why you tune in every Friday morning, right, EP?
Yep.
All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Take care.
See you, boys.
See ya.